I get this question fairly often. That question is, how do I make this door or some part like this bigger? The first inclination is to use the scale tool. And if I try to do that, if I select the part and go to scale, if I try to make this bigger, I end up with a couple of problems. Let's say I want to make the door 2 inches taller and 2 inches wider. This scale tool is in essentially a percentage. So I'd have to calculate, how big the door was, how much bigger I wanted, and then do the division, come up with a scale factor. The problem with that is it only works in one direction, right? I might make it 2 inches wider, but it wouldn't make it 2 inches taller. It'd be close, but not quite. And scale makes the door thicker too, so that doesn't help me. If I just went in one direction, I could make it once again bigger by 2 inches if I figured out the scale factor, but it's also stretching this part. So my style, if it was 2 inches wide before, it's 2 and some funky fraction, and if I zoom in here, it has stretched out the radius on this cove. So that doesn't help. So scale is not going to be helpful in this situation. Scale is kind of a rare tool to use, what I found in SketchUp in general. So what we're going to do for the styles is use the push-pull tool. So once again, I said I'm going to make this 2 inches taller, so I'll open this for editing. Select that top, select push-pull, and let's come up 2. So push-pull works great in that situation, and because these are components, both of them got longer. This rail I can move up, so I'll move it up by the 2 inches. So that looks good. Now let's say I want to make the door 2 inches wider also, so I'll move this over. I want to make sure I'm staying along the red axis. So I'll go over type 2. And what I need to do now is extend this rail. Now, push-pull doesn't work now, right? If I try to push-pull this, open it for editing, push-pull, I can push-pull that, and I can push-pull that, but I can't push-pull that curved part, right? So I could push-pull that, but that's just gonna, that doesn't help me. So the way to extend the length of a part like this is to use the move tool. So I'm going to select all the bits and pieces on the end of this rail that need to be moved. Right? You have to think of it in those terms. So I'm selecting from left to right. If I had selected from, let me deselect that. If I'd selected from right to left, that bounding box is going to select everything associated with that, which just, in this case it would work, but just to be clean, I'm just going to do it this way. And now I'm going to select the move tool and select something that's easy to grab. Once again, make sure I'm going in the red direction, and I've got some geometry I can click on. So that works great. I've made the door 2 inches taller, 2 inches wider. The panel I can do similarly. If I double click it and open it for editing, I'll select the whole edge, and I want to move. I'll just randomly kind of click something here, make sure I'm going in the red direction, right? I don't want to go off in some funky direction. I'll overdo it just to make sure I'm going in the red direction. I'm going to type 2, and then similarly I'll select the whole top, go to the move tool, come up 2, once again making sure I'm in the right direction, 2, deselect it, and I'm good to go.